Well, we have accounting chapter 6, control accounts. For control accounts, it's the summary of accounts in the general ledger, which tells us about the value of the balances in the debtors account and the balances in the creditors account. When we talk about the debtors accounts, for the debtors account, we're talking about our credit customers. And for the debt creditors account, we're talking about our credit suppliers. But credit customers are those customers we sell to on credit. Credit suppliers are those businesses we buy from on credit. That is control account. So it's about the balances in the debtors control account, the balances in the debtors account, and the balances in the creditors account. I think that point is clear there. Then we have the purpose of control account. What are the purposes? Why do we have, what are the reasons of having control account? Number one, it is to easily and quickly find an error. When error is made, we are bound to make errors, especially when we are calculating or casting. So when errors are made, the control account can be a way to locate those errors. Do you get the first point here? You get it or not, please? The second one, to find credit sales and credit purchases from incomplete records. We have an incomplete records because these records, there are transactions done, but we don't have full details about those transactions. So if we need to find out, or if we have to complete those transactions, if we have to complete that account, we can use a creditor's control account or debtor's control account. So here it said to find credit sales and credit purchases from incomplete records. So with an incomplete record, a record that is incomplete means the account has not been prepared. So to prepare the account, we can extract credit sales and credit purchases away from them. Do you get that? The third one, to quickly find amounts owed to by debtors and owed to creditors. Because the debtors control account and creditors control account is all about credit sales and credit purchases. It simply means we can, with the control account, we can simply figure out the total amount we are owing to our creditors and the total amount our debtors are owing us. So these are the purpose of control account. Any question about that? Then we'll go to the advantages now. So for the advantages of control account or the importance of control account, number one, they act as a check on the accuracy of the ledger. So we have our general ledger, we have cash book and the rest. With control account, it can serve as a measure of accuracy. So if our current account is balanced, or if we are making errors, we can use the control account to know if we are having errors in our general ledger or not. Two, they allow errors to be found easily. With control account, you would know, sometimes, most of our transactions are about credit sales and credit purchases. So with control account, we can figure out which ones is not making our accounts our trial balance to balance. Oh, is it that we have some creditors that we have paid and we have not recorded, or have we overpaid some creditors that we don't know, or some debtors are owing us, they've not paid us, or they've paid us, we didn't record the right figure or the right amount. With control account, this allows us to know that. And the next one, they allow amounts owed by debtors and amounts owing to creditors to be ascertained quickly. So you get to know the amount you are owing to your creditors, the amount you are owing to your debtors immediately. When you are preparing the debtors control account, there's always going to be credit purchases and total purchases. So you just have to take away total purchases from the credit purchases to know, total purchases from the cash purchases, sorry. When you are preparing your creditors control account, there's going to be an item called total purchases. So for your total purchases, you're going to have total purchases. From there, you can know your cash purchases because your cash purchases is part of your cash book. So the total purchases minus your cash purchases tells you your credit purchases. Are you with me, please? There's total purchases. Total purchases is cash purchases plus credit purchases. The item will give you your total purchases and your cash purchases. So it allows you to detect your credit purchases. Same goes to your sales. You're going to have your total sales and your cash sales. You can as well find your credit sales through your control account. And the last one, they are useful when preparing accounts from incomplete records. So when you have to prepare your accounts, it's useful to use sales creditors control account, sales control account, and purchases control account. Sales control account is the same as debtors control account. Creditors control account is the same as purchases control account. Are you with me? So what are the problems when we're using, what are the problems when we're using, when we are preparing control account? The first one, they don't identify which ledger account contains the error. Mostly the transactions are in the general ledger, and general ledger is for revenue, expenditures, day-to-day activities. So it does not really tell us which ledger account, which individual account owns this transaction. Because, for example, your sales ledger control account, it will only talk about total sales, cash sales. Yes, you can find your credit sales, but who are those credit customers you wouldn't know through your control account? So it does not tell you individuals that have owed you as a business or individuals that you are owing as a business. And the second problem is that it does not show those errors that does not affect trial balance, like error of omission, error of commission, errors of original entry. The control account does not show these errors because these errors are not arithmetical error. So the control account will still not show these errors. So those are the limitations of control account. Any question about that? So we've talked about control account, the purpose of control account, the advantages of control accounts, and the limitations of control account, which are the problems of control account. So now we're going to talk about the types of control account which we have. They are debtors control account, which is the same as sales control account, and we have creditors control account, which is the same as purchases control account. That's what we're going to talk about now. I'm going to pause this. So we have types of control account. The first one we have is debtors control account. For debtors control account, these are accounts for our credit customers, the customers that you bought from on credit. It is an account in the general ledger that shows the total of all transactions with debtors. It consists of the credit sales totals and the total amount received from debtors. So your debtors control account talks about the total amount of money you have received from your creditors, which will be on the credit side of your control account. But the types of control accounts we have is debtors control account and creditors control account. So like I said earlier, for debtors control account, it is an account that shows in the general ledger that shows the total of all transactions with debtors. So if you have sold to your debtors, how much is the credit sales total? It's going to be on the debit side of your debtors control account. And the total amount of money you received from your debtors is going to be on the credit side of your debtors control account or debit side of your sales ledger control account. Do you get the point I'm making here? The debtors control account is the same as the sales ledger control account. It shows your total credit sales. Your total credit sales will be on the debit side of your debtors control account. The total amount of money you received from your credit customers would be all receivables from your credit customers will be on the credit side of your debtors control account. That's debtors control account first one point. The second one, a debtors control account will usually have a debit balance, but may also have a credit balance. Normally, your debtors control account will have a debit balance because they are owing you. But sometimes it could have a credit balance. If it has a credit balance, it simply means you are owing your customers. Do you get it? It's unbalanced, but we're going to talk about that afterwards. Then the third one, the debtors control account is prepared from information found in the total books of the book of the first entry we have the sales ledger control, or the sales control, or the sales account, the sales returns, the general journal, the cash book. These are accounts that we put together to extract information that we need for the debtors control account. Is debtors control account clear? Debtors control account is all about our credit customers. And it is so the total amount of money, the total sales that the total credit sales of for our debt or our credit customers is recorded in the debit side, credit sales. And the total amount of money we receive from our debtors is recorded on the credit side of the debtors control account. That will do for debtors control account. Now go to creditors control account. For creditors control account, it's the same as purchases ledger control account. It's an account in general ledger that shows the total of all transactions with creditors. So all your credit purchases will be on the credit side of your creditors control account. and all amount of money you paid to your credit customers will be on the debit side of your creditors control account. So all payables will be on the debit side because your credit supplier has received those cash from you. So it's going to be debit balance for the supplier, and whatever you have paid will be on the credit side. Do you understand? So all purchases from your supplier will be on the credit side. Credit purchases will be on the credit side of your purchases control account or creditors control account. All payables will be on the debit side of your debt or your creditors control account or purchases control account. I think the point is clear there. Is it clear or not, Liz? Is it clear? You usually have a credit balance, but may also have a debit balance. Your creditors control account, which is supposed to have a credit balance, but sometimes it could have a debit balance. And situation that might make it to have a debit balance could be that you have overpaid your supplier, or you paid your supplier and you actually returned the goods you paid for. So that means your supplier is owing you. And if your supplier is owing you, it's going to have a debit balance. Do you get that? And the last one, the creditors control account is prepared from the information found in the total books of the first entry, like the purchases return, your general journal, your cash book. These are where we extract information for the purchases ledger control account. Any question about that? Done. So we have usual balance now. We have unusual balance. This occurs when the creditor's account have a debit balance while the debtor's account has a credit balance. Usually, your debtor's control account should have a debit balance, and your creditor's control account should have a credit balance. But there's an unusual situation where you have the debtor's account having a credit balance and the creditor's account having a debit balance. That's an unusual balance or unusual situation. So what are the reasons why we could have a credit balance on the debtor's control account? Why do we have to be owing? What are the situations that bring about we owing our customers? Number one, if a payment has been recorded, received from a debtor, and later the goods were returned. So here, a payment was made by our debtor, the credit customer. He paid us. They paid us for the goods purchased on credit. But those goods that were purchased on credit, after the payment was made, the goods were returned to us. As soon as they return the goods to us, that means we are owing the customers. So that means we need to refund. This is a refund. So as soon as there's a refund to the customer, it's going to have a credit balance in your debtor's control account. Do you get the first one? The second one, an error has been made involving an overpayment by the debtor. So your debtor paid you more than the invoice. The invoice is the evidence that the debtor is owing you. So your debtor overpaid its invoice. Because the debtor overpaid its invoice, it simply means you are owing the debtor. In that situation, your debtor's control account or sales ledger control account will have a credit balance. You're not supposed to owe your customer. It's the customer that's supposed to owe you. But now there's a situation. And the third one, after full payment was received, a discount allowed was applied. So you have received the full payment from your customer, but you gave your customer a discount because your customer paid earlier the invoice than expected. So that means you are owing the customer. Do you get it? So if discount was allowed after full payment, it means your debtor's control account will have a credit balance because you are now owing the customer. If goods were paid in full and some goods were returned, you have to refund the money. That's why it's going to have a credit balance. Your debtor overpaid you the invoice. You're going to have a credit balance in your debtor's control account. Are they clear? So these are unusual balance in the debtor's control account. The unusual balance in the debtor's control account, it's all about the debtor's account having a credit balance instead of having a debit balance. Do you get it? So your balance carried down in your debtor's control account should be on the credit side, not on the debit side. Do you get it? Reasons for debit balance on the creditor's control account. What are the reasons why we could have the same situation with our credit supplier? Number one, a payment has been paid to a creditor and later goods were returned to the creditor. You made the payment for the goods you bought from your creditors, but you are returning those goods after making full payment. That means your creditor is owing you. So it's going to have a debit balance. An error has been made involving an overpayment to your creditor. You overpaid your invoice. You are owing your creditor 5,000. You paid 5,500. So your creditor is owing you. And the last one, after full payment was made, a discount was received for early payment. So now you have made a full payment, but your creditor is giving you a discount because you are paying earlier the invoice. So that means your creditor should return a certain amount of money to you. So these are the reasons why we could have a debit balance on the creditor's control account or a debit balance on the purchases ledger control account. Is it clear? Any question about that? And the last one is contra entry before the practical. So the last note is on contra entry. So for contra entry, a contra item arises when the debtor to the business is also a creditor. So it simply means it's your debtor, but it's as well as your creditor. So it means the value on the debtor's account will knock off the value of the creditor's account. So contra entry you have it on the credit side. Let's say a transfer from the debtor to the creditor, a transfer from the debtor to the creditor's account. So you're going to have the contra entry on the credit side of your debtor's control account, and you're going to have it on the debit side of your creditor's control account. That's contra entry. It's going to be on both sides of the control account. So here they wrote, a contra item arises when the debtor to the business is also a creditor. The amounts owed to the firm and by the firm are written off against each other. So your debtor is still your creditor. So whatever is owing you is going to take it away from whatever you are owing him. So that is what we call contra entry. Is contra entry clear? Is it clear, please? Good. So that ends the theoretical aspect of the control account. So we're going to go to the practical aspect of control accounts.
Is there a conflict?
Yeah, we're going to start now.